Good morning. Good morning, Angelia. Good morning, Caragwen. Hi there, everybody. Welcome. It's a new week, and I hope that everyone had positive experiences over the equinox and full moon weekend. Full moon in Virgo, very intense energies. And of course, against the backdrop of so much global unrest, it's hard to feel that sense of spring in the heart. But I think that hope is a feature of spring. And so let's hope for things to get better here and abroad as the months come now. We are in the sort of the second half of our month of Tara in the Goddess Temple, working with the 21 Taras. So far, we've made it through about 11 of them. I think I said this last year too. We'll see. Maybe we can make it through all 21. Let's see. There's 5 days this week. We have 9 more days. So that would take us through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, well, that's pretty great, actually. We're going to get through most of the Taras in our practice. Okay, great. Then I'm not going to worry. I thought maybe, oh gosh, am I going to have to skip over some? But I think we're going to get through 20 of the 21. So let's begin with the prayers of motivation and our prayer of manifestation as Tara. We had such a great symposium over the weekend. Amazing, amazing scholarship, heart, good presenters. It was so wonderful. I learned so much and we did it kind of differently than most conferences. Most conferences will have like multiple panels going at once, and it would be like an hour and a half or an hour of lecturing. And we did this year. I decided to embrace a kind of method of having people do TED length talks, and the TED length talks, we ended up getting to kind of stay very fresh. I never felt like things were going on, and sometimes I do feel that way in a longer lecture. It's not that I don't enjoy them. It's just that in a more TED length talk, you kind of have to prioritize and speak succinctly and keep the energy high. And everyone did, and it was wonderful. Okay, so thank you to everyone who participated, and I'll be finding a way to get those videos out into the world here as soon as I can. So our prayers of motivation. I am here to manifest the wisdom that rests within. I am here to radiate my loving compassion into the world. I am here to gather the skills and the power to bless and empower all. I am here to manifest the wisdom that rests within. I am here to radiate my loving compassion into the world. I am here to gather the skills and the power to bless and empower all. I am here to manifest the wisdom that rests within. I am here to radiate my loving compassion into the world. I am here to gather the skill and the power to bless and empower all. The fundamental nature of my mind is pure. Within me is an inexhaustible source of love, wisdom, and power. The purpose of all spiritual practice is to reveal and make contact with this. When ignorance is removed, unlimited wisdom, compassion, and power arise. It is the mind's conditioning that limits understanding of who I am and what I can become. I will cleanse my mind of faults and develop beneficial qualities. This removes obstacles to my path and creates beneficial conditions. Recognizing the interconnectedness of all, I will strive to be my best, to manifest my enlightened potential, ever dedicated to benefiting all beings. I will think, speak, and act as Tara. And today we are with Tara number 12. Tara is auspicious beauty. Praise her whose diadem is a crescent moon. Her ornaments ablaze, stream shining light. The Buddha Amitabha sits atop her hair. He radiates a stream of dazzling light. When we see the very famous statues of Tara and of Guanyin, often they're depicted with this kind of little cone-shaped crown that sits right here. And inside that little diadem, there is a figure of the Buddha. And I've had different women over the years say, oh, they didn't like that because they felt like it was, putting some kind of patriarchal thing on top of a woman's head or suppressing her. But it really isn't that. It's actually that it's not taking the Buddha as a deity like God and placing him on your head as in he's there to suppress your thoughts. What it really is that it's an emblem of the inherent Buddha nature, which is sexless and genderless, without race, without class, without other type of definition, that inherent Buddha nature that is within us all. And it's about remembering that that inherent Buddha nature kind of enters us and projects itself through us into the world. It's not that Buddha nature exists outside of us or inside of us. It's that Buddha nature exists and we are it. And also, we can make choices and have thoughts that remove us from it. So when we place that thought of the Buddha right, the image of the Buddha rather, right here, what we're saying is that I want to keep in my mind my inherent knowledge of the Buddha nature that is naturally occurring within me and all around me, in all beings and all things, without exception. And then it makes it easier to avoid the kinds of thought processes or, behavioral activities that would limit us from Buddha nature. So she, Tara, is blazing a dazzling light. The Buddha at her crown is blazing a dazzling light. That's not because they're separate, like Tara is one thing and the Buddha is another. It's because they're one. Tara and the Buddha are the same. Tara is a Buddha goddess. She is an enlightened being. So she's not separate. So it's just important for us to keep that in mind. When we see those images, they're meant to connote what already is within each of us not meant to suppress any part of us or to connote some kind of idolatry where we place a male deity as like a governor on top of our heads. If you're in Buddha nature, if your inherent Buddha nature is something that you're aware of, then you don't really need that kind of governor. Akshobe, in the realm of the Eastern Pure Lands, objective, focused observation illuminates the truth. So this is the Buddha of the, it seems like it's the Buddha of the Eastern direction in this mandala. Here we go. Akshobe. Akshobe is the blue Buddha of the Pure Land of the East, Abhirati. It is a land far from the world that we know, traveled to through a journey in several dimensions, through a landscape, through time, and through intent. His name means imperturbable, and he received it through upholding a set of austerity vows for aeons. The steadfastness of practice that never wavers from a goal creates a field of energy which proliferates and gives rise to other energy forms in a creative embellishment of the same demeanor. I love that sentence. I'm going to read that sentence again. That is a very valuable sentence. The steadfastness of practice that never wavers from a goal creates a field of energy which proliferates and gives rise to other energy forms in a creative embellishment of the same demeanor. With Akshobe's intense work over a prolonged period of time, this process created his Buddha family, the Vajra family. All of the family members all of the members of this family share his blue color and his similar qualities. So the Vajra is a metal instrument used in tantric ritual. It is a symbol of how the primordial oneness gives rise to the two, and so on. If you look at the card depicting Vajrasattva, who is in Akshobe's family, you can see one in his hand. There is a round sphere in the middle. Two flowers project from it and give birth to stamens, or metal prongs that curve inward and meet around a central prong. The purba, held by another family, Vajrakilaya, is a riff on its shape and purpose. They represent many things, but mostly they are the symbol of the primary energy channels of the body. In other cultures, the function of the Vajra could be likened to something like Thor's hammer. It is a thunderbolt that illuminates and crushes anything that comes against it. These are often depicted in the hands of deities and practitioners. Akshobe is associated with the dawn of the day. His mudra is the earth-touching gesture. So that's the gesture where you take your right hand and you place it on the earth and you ask the primordial earth goddess Sahi Lamo to bear witness to the fact of your practice. The Buddha called the earth goddess to give witness to his moment of enlightenment. Akshobe's element is water, and the poison that he helps us overcome or direct into a more positive force is hatred. The gift that he gives, if we focus deeply on him in meditation, is the wisdom of seeing things exactly as they truly are, without judging or reacting with attraction or repulsion. The chakra associated with him is the heart. So, depending on how you're sitting or where you're sitting, if you're sitting on the floor like me, you could try doing that gesture. And let me see, let me get my Vajra so that you can see it. So In ritual, the tantric rituals, the Vajra and bell travel together, and they both have this same shape on the top. You can see it here. And generally, when you pick up the Vajra and then you pick up the bell in the same hand, representing this inseparability of wisdom and compassion. And then you pass the bell of wisdom to the left hand with the right, and you hold the Vajra to your heart with the right hand. So it's sort of a fluid. And then when you put it down, you hand the bell back from the left hand to the right hand, reunifying the two forces. And then you place the bell down, and then you place the Vajra next to it. They always go together. The bell represents the female principle, which is wisdom. The Vajra represents the male principle, which is compassion. Some people think, oh, well, why wouldn't it be that the female principle is compassion and the male principle is wisdom? And I want us to really notice that all of us have been conditioned in the Western mind to think that the tropes associated with gender are real, but they're not. They're totally fake. There's no inherent greater compassion in the female than the male, and there's no inherent greater wisdom in the male than the female. That's not true. But when these two ornaments represent a lot of different things, and people are often further surprised to find out that in the Tibetan tradition, the moon is considered male and the sun is considered female, completely the reverse of what we learn in modern occult Western culture. So, some things to think about there. So, picking up the Vajra, picking up the bell, passing the bell from right to left, placing the Vajra at the heart, which represents all the things that were described in the card, as well as the principle of as above, so below, the uniting of the physical mandala with the heavenly mandala, and then you start to ring your bell. So, when we do certain types of practices, we will wield these tools. And the bell and the Vajra together, representing the union of wisdom and compassion, that we cannot have enlightenment without both. Enlightenment is both wisdom and compassion. So, interestingly, when we consider that Akshobe's Buddha family is the blue Eastern family represented by the Vajra of compassion, and his chakra or his sacred center is the heart. And the Tibetan chakras are a little bit different than the Indian chakras. The Indian chakras, there are 7. The Tibetan chakras, there are normally 5, but the heart is still one of them. And the heart chakra is the place where we have the union of the upper and the lower. So the upper is the wisdom, the lower is the compassion, or you could say that both wisdom and compassion are present in both, and that the upper is more the kind of divine realm and the lower is the earthly realm, but that they are still one realm. And this idea of there being a primordial unity between seemingly disparate things is one of the brain breaking koans or riddles of Buddhism. It seems different. It seems like these are two different things, but they are one. And when you allow your brain to be broken by that sacred riddle, that is where the beginning of your true education begins in the Dharma. So allowing things to be both and is a big part of our practice. And Akshobe's impartiality is a feature of this. The impartiality of Akshobe's way of being, able to see everything exactly as it is and not judge it, is something that's very valuable for any of us who are healers or who do readings. You really have to be able to let someone sit down and tell you their very worst thing, the thing they're the most ashamed of, the thing they're the most afraid of, the thing that they wouldn't want to tell their friends, the thing that they might be scared to tell their partner. You have to be that person that they can sit and say that unimaginably scary thing to. and where you're just like, okay, I'm going to just meet you where you're at. I don't have to agree or disagree with you. I don't have to feel anything about what you're just telling me. All I need to do is to presence the best possible set of tools and knowledge so that I can help you not be stuck in this place, so that you can do something that will feel good and real and true for you in the world going forward from this moment. So this is like a way that as witches, as pagans, as goddess worshippers, as whatever background you are, you can channel that wisdom of Akshobe and the Vajra to say it's all one. It's not like this is good and that is bad. It's to say this will have this result, that will have that result. And what we're here to do is to figure out what's going to deliver the correct result that will benefit the most beings possible in this moment with what we've got. And I think that, and as many of us have faced pretty serious feelings, including myself, about observing the unfolding of the war in Ukraine, um, there is a kind of frustration that we might feel. To be able to move into impartiality does not mean that we're going to sit back and say, oh, well, war is not wrong. Instead, we have to find the way to sit back and say, since this is what's happening, what is it that I can do that will benefit the most beings possible? And for many of us, it's coming to our cushion and seeding the collective consciousness with the essence of peace in our practice. For others of us, it might be to actually send money. For others of us, it might be to volunteer to be a medical worker or something else. But when we come to that point of feeling where we can see what's going on and we feel a frustration, learning to not judge it, to practice through it, to not let it stop you from believing in the best in humanity, and to not allow it to turn your heart to your own desire for violence. Like one of the things I see is people being like, I just wish I could go over there and, kill him or kill Putin or whatever. And it's like, no, like, no, no, no. Like that's not we can't we can't defeat this by joining it. We can't defeat this energy by joining it. We have to learn how to defeat the energy within ourselves so that the energy within ourselves does not become poisonous. So, from here today, let's just hold that what we are hoping for, what we're praying for, what we are intending for is peace, and that peace will be within us. It will start within us, and it will, from the heart, radiate out into this world and all worlds. So that's our short bit for today, if that's what you were here for. And now let's dive into Guanyin practice. We're going to start with 3 prostrations before this shrine here. And let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the Great Mother of Compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention, a person, place, situation, or circumstance that will benefit from this practice today. And today we're holding Mia. And let's recite the four immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. Let's make our offerings. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering for Guanxi Yin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Omahung. 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 Om-ahung. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guanyin, remain until the end of samsaric existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. 108 recitations of Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guan Shi 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 Yin Pusa. Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa. 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 Namo Guan Shi In Pusa. The imperturbability of one's practice is evident in things like 100,000 recitation practices or longer practices like that. And we have in our Skydancer Sangha a few individuals, maybe two or three, who within the next few months will have chanted 100,000 of Guanyin's mantras each. They will each have accomplished 100,000. That's really not a small thing to do. It takes a lot of effort and energy and commitment. And I know, with both of the two that I know of for sure, they've been facing all kinds of family stuff and stuff going on in their lives, have a lot of responsibilities, and they still manage to complete 100,000 recitations in just under 2 years. It will be just under 2 years when they both finish. And they're both right about the same, like they're both in the between 80 and 90,000 range. And myself, I've completed 100,000 in the past and am working slowly through this next 100,000. It'll probably take me another 2 years to accomplish another 100,000, but I'm on it, doing it every day. So, something to really think about in your practice. If you want to do it, you will do it. That's it. Like if you want to do it, you'll do it. It's really that simple. Okay, so our brief practice, long life practice for Tara by Patro Rinpoche. Lume chosum chidang jetsunma gyayum pakma drome jintu yi daki sisu pajor nyandraknam yarnu dadang yarji soshindu kepar kache wantang lungta nam nyampa soshing chatu gyawalang chije lekpe lam du drowadang sering neme dadang denchur shi. Through the blessing and power of the unfailing Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and of Jetsunma, mother of the Buddha's noble Tara, may our lifespan merit prosperity and renown increase like a waxing moon, like a rising summer lake. Especially may our good fortune, Wangtong and Windhorse, be healed when they weaken, rejoined when interrupted, raised up when sinking down. May whatever we do turn out well, and may good health, long life, peace, and happiness be ours. Lume chosum shidang jetsunma galyum pakma drome jintu yi daki sisu paljornyan draknam yarnu dadang yarji soshindu kepar kaje wangtang lungta nam nyampa soshing chatu gawalong chije lekpe lamdu drowa dang sering nyame dadang denjur shi. Now 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum, sending out our extra strength and kindness to Mia today. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshe Wangmo. Om Sosti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of Supreme Bliss Yeshe Wangmo be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxian Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin, bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher. And wishing everyone a good day and a great week. Be back tomorrow.